Welcome to CIELO QR. Within CIELO QR, we're going to first navigate to our QR creation wizard by going to portal.cieloconnects.com/register. Once you've navigated to this URL, put in the name, last name, business name, as well as the industry. It's important to know that the industry that you input here will affect the type of zones you will later have available for you within CIELO. For this particular case, we're going to choose cinema. Lastly, put in your email address. Once you've gone ahead and put in your email address, you will receive a notification to update and activate the account. This will be sent directly to the corresponding email that you have registered with. Once you've received the password creation email, you're going to simply click here to create a password to get started with CIELO. And finally, once you've input your password, we recommend your password be at least 8 digits alphanumeric, including a number, letter, or special character. You'll be greeted to our CIELO end user license agreement. It is a recommendation that you read through the entire end user license agreement prior to hitting the agree and continue option at the very bottom. Once you've agreed to our end user license agreement, we can get started within the CIELO wizard creation process. Now, the first notification you will receive is to input the name of your location. These will be the physical locations that you have assigned. So for this particular business, we have one office located in Miami, a second office located in Boca Raton, and lastly, an office located in New York. Once you've input the location, we're going to ask for additional data here. Now, these would be the select zones associated with your individual location. For this cinema, we have 5 auditoriums, 2 bathrooms, 1 concession, 1 dining area, 1 general area, and 1 lobby. You'll select the country, as well as the time zone. And finally, we'll hit save. Once we've gone ahead and created the actual QR codes, you will have the option to create custom zones. Now let's repeat the process for each. This particular cinema only has 1 of each. Let's place it here. And lastly, another cinema with 1 of each. We'll place this in a separate time zone. And finally, you'll hit the next option. Once you've hit the next button, you'll be associated with the QR generator feed. The QR generator lets you customize the coloring, logo, and text available to the QR code. Each zone is individually modifiable. For this section, secondary text, we'll leave it as is. For the tertiary text, maybe this particular location doesn't employ the CL Connects app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, so we'll have only the camera. Next, we can modify the logo available. Whenever selecting a new logo, we do recommend that it be against a white background and save the logo as either a JPEG or PNG file type for best processing. Lastly, we can modify the actual URL associated with the account that you're creating here. Once you've modified the existing locations on your QR code, you can update the coloring to match your visual identity. You can choose from our color gradient chart or put in a specific hex code associated. This way, you can always confirm you have the right match in coloring to meet your visual identity. You can choose a black and white code. This makes it much easier during the printing process and helps you save on paper. But for this, we'll stick to the color. And we'll hit save. Once you've completed the process here, our next option is to generate our code. This will allow you to print your CIELO QR code. Now we can see all the QR codes that are ready to print and if they look good to us. As you can see now that we've gone ahead and selected the QR codes, the zone number has been associated with the locations and the offices that we've chosen. So we can see Miami Auditorium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have the bathrooms, 1 and 2. Our 1 concession, our 1 dining area, and our 1 general area. And finally, the 1 lobby. Now next, we go to our second location, Boca Raton. Now for that location, we only chose 1 auditorium, 1 bathroom, 1 concession, 1 dining area, 1 general area, and 1 lobby. And lastly, the New York location. If you are satisfied with these QR codes, just hit the yes option. And you can save or print them directly from this location. For the purposes here, we'll hit cancel as we'll print at a later date. Now you're ready to put in some custom information to the QR generator. The first option, would you like to enable customer feedback within the zones? Once you scan a QR code, this will allow you to actually go ahead and a customer or a client to input a star rating associated with that QR code. Since this QR code will be placed in public facing areas, we'll keep that as a yes. Would you like to be informed immediately when a customer leaves feedback? Once again, as these QR codes will be in a public customer facing area, we'll keep that as yes. And we'll also keep it, we would like to have an associated email address on where the feedback is going to be sent to. It is recommended that this feedback be sent to a mailbox or distribution list so everyone member can be alerted at the appropriate time. Next, we would like the customer to see the cleaning history on zones. Now for the QR codes, you will have the option to create custom checklists for health and sanitation purposes. If you'd like your customers to be able to see when these checklists were completed, you'll be able to hit yes. For this purposes, we'll click no. Lastly, we can put in an employee PIN for other employees to access the QR codes in the employee section for the health and sanitation checklist. The PINs can be associated from 4 to 8 digits. And here we'll put a 4-digit PIN, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can create custom PINs on an employee by employee basis by giving them user accounts within the platform. You can go over that process a little later. Or you can create a generalized PIN, as we've done today, for the entire platform. This comes in handy when you have third-party companies or third-party vendors that may come on site. And instead of giving each person a unique password or PIN, you can create a generalized PIN for that third-party vendor to access your location. And finally, we hit next to activate in step 3. Now that you've gone ahead and hit the last option, your QR code is now activated and ready to use, and you'll be prompted to log into our full CIELO QR portal. This is where you'll be able to manage additional options within the QR codes that you have deployed. Thank you for participating and using CIELO QR.